So we come up with an idea when we were going to get volunteers to help send copies overseas to some of the fans and help vote for you guys. So we did it for as long as we could, and we sent over 100 TV guides to people overseas. And then when they received their TV guides, we had them upload their picture to our Facebook page with a message for the cast and crew. And I'll put them all in a book to give you guys to take back to Vancouver.
No way.
Hey, not your turn. Give her a chance to talk, Jensen. And we're just thanking her for, you know, thank her. Thank God for yourself.
You know, we're not in like we're not on the front cover like a lot of these magazines. The major media doesn't talk about us hardly at all. We're not, you know, TMZ or any of those things. We're not one of the shows that's kind of like always in the hot list and stuff. So when you guys come through and do something like you did with the TV Guide and People's Choice, it reminds us why we work so hard. So thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
I'm gonna go over here. Hi.
Okay, I'm going to break the series with a really funny question.
All right.
Okay, ready for this?
Is that the question?
Maybe. Okay, the bloopers, seasons 1 and 2 had a lot of fart jokes. So, you get on prescription medicine like Vino or something, or wine.
Yeah. I just have never eaten again. I started tweeting instead. That's how I release gas. Tweet!
That was me, by the way, with the tweeting back there.
Tweeting?
Yeah, that was me back there. It was like tweeting.
Well, thank you for tweeting at me.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Yes.
Good question for you.
Maybe Jensen.
You know what? I might have a theory as to why the flatulation was a little curbed by the season 3. And I would probably throw it in the ballpark of diet. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like a protein powder pound.
A thong.
Yeah, it was, I mean, with shakes and bars and all that stuff, and yeah, you know, it'll get you in shape and muscular, but...
Thank you. Next question.
Another theory I have.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Quick comment and a question. Congratulations on your 1-year anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my question. Season 5 DVD showed a lot about the stage with your crew. You guys just seem like you get along so well. I think that's great. Matter of fact, you could tell Joe did a wonderful job with Crunch the Stage, your stunt coordinator. He was awesome. And is there anything that you would like to do if you weren't acting in that kind of deal? I know you directed and
Ooh, like change career for a day on the set?
Career day on the set.
We do that from time to time, to be honest. I'll see,
Stunt driver.
yeah, but I already kind of do that. In fact, my stunt double hates me because he has to like get full, you know, deaned out, and then he just sits there on the sidelines. And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And it's like, sure.
I don't want to be Cliff.
I want to be Cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he just sits in the car all
He
day.
just sits, make sure we're okay. Give us a look. As soon as we're in our trailers, he's like, all right, I'm gonna play.
Gosh, I don't know.
You obviously have a directing film.
Yeah, I mean, Lou's job is pretty fun.
Stunt
He's a stunt coordinator, like you mentioned him.
Yeah.
that's his name. I said Joe.
What's that?
Sorry, Lou, Lou
Yeah.
Bowler.
Yeah, Lou Bolo was his name. In fact, that little slap on the ass there was his idea. Gosh, I don't know.
Did you produce?
What's that?
Did you produce?
I would like
Producer?
He's probably more inclined to do something like that than I
A
am.
lot of producers on YouTube.
Yeah. Props would be fun because they're in charge of all the guns.
Oh, yeah. Or the guns, what do you call the gun?
Oh, yeah.
What do you call it? Armor.
Our armor.
Yeah,
Armor, yeah, we have, whenever there's gunfire on set, there's another guy who shows up. So, when there's no gunfire, which we always have our guns, you know, but if we draw them and all that stuff, whenever shooting, we're just, you know, we always have them, we're using them. Then you just need your props person, who is our on-set props is a girl named Robin, and she's great because she instantly seizes the guns away from us as soon as they yell cut because she knows we're going to sit there and pull them apart. No, I mean honestly, after 6 seasons of using the same guns, like I can take that thing apart and put it back together with my eyes closed. And so, in fact, I think I did that in one of the episodes. I was just like taking things apart, and even, you know, Jared, I'll just take his gun and like, I'll take the barrel out, the spring out, I'll just throw it over there and, you know, hand it back to him. So Robin is very in tune with that, and she, you know, is constantly scolding us. But the armor, whenever there's actual gunfire, he's the one that shows up with the gunpowder, the bullets, and everything.
A lot of people,
So-
folks.
And we always have to fight to get what's called the full loads, because each blank bullet has a quarter load, a half load, or a full load of gunpowder in it. We always want the full load because it's the big boom and the big flash. But a lot of times we're in very, you know, confined space and a small set, and just for noise ordinance purposes, if we're like in a neighborhood or downtown, we have to use the quarter loads, which just suck. So anyway, that was
Very
fun.
cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want like a kind of photo,
What's up?
I'd like to know if Sam is still afraid of clowns.
Yeah, you got one? I don't want to tell you, man. Maybe not anymore. He was for a while. Maybe not. Thank you, though. Are you? No. All right. Thanks, dude.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a comment and I have a question. My comment is on the Eye of the Tiger.
Yes, that is the song. What's your question?
Doing the whole level thing.
The what? Thank you.
So my question is, in the episode of French Say, other than the obvious, how much of that is factual?
All of it.
And why didn't they show enough of your personal life? Are you ashamed?
She was working at the time.
Yes, I'm completely ashamed of my personal life.
I was just kidding.
No, yes, what happened was they sent researchers to come and watch us, and they took notes of every little detail. No, that was all, there was, I would say, aside from using the same names, none of that, I mean, that was very, very small reality.
So you don't have the aquarium?
No, but the great thing was, is when my agent saw that, she instantly said, "Well, that is your trailer, right?" I'm like, "No, it's not." So it will be now for season 7. So I was like, "Hey guys, your mistake. You put it on the screen, and that's now." And then as far as like Jensen's personal life, there was more of a gag there to have Jen be on the show because of the Ruby thing. Daniil's never been on the show, so there really wasn't that. And there's only a 42-minute show. If it was maybe a 3-hour show.
I think they got a lot of stuff that I thought would be funny. They had to, because we had so many different jokes that could have done. we could have just gone as far as we wanted to about how kooky actors are and how kind of self-centered and mean and bad acting scenes and everything else. So we had to dial it down a lot. And obviously, like you said, since Jen was in the show, it was easy to make a gag out of it.
But you don't shoot the cat, right?
Do I shoot my cannon?
We do shoot together. That is factual.
No, we do. We shoot in Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
We filmed a show in Vancouver, which was, a couple of those lines were ad-libs. Like if I have one more conversation about hockey, I'm gonna puke. That was from real life experience. I'm sorry if there's hockey fans, but when you live in Vancouver, shut up. I know they're in the finals, and good luck to them.
Right now.
Right now, they are, yeah. Go Canucks.
Thank you. Cheers. Love you back. Thank you.
I have a question about wardrobe on the show. Sam wears a brown hoodie, or did.
In the beginning?
Moments that seem like they might be more emotional, when Dean told him that he thought their dad went to hell for him, when he tried to make the first deal to get Dean out of hell. But in the episode with the giant spider monster, Robo Sam was wearing a brown hoodie. And it wasn't Sam's because he didn't take it to hell. And I'm wondering if they
Sure, it was different.
if they choose that for the emotional connection, or if they just say, here, Rick.
You know what? There's a lot that goes into it. That's actually a very good question. It sounds much easier to answer than it is, but a lot of times, like the reason I was wearing it when I made the Crossroads deal is because logistically, we shoot that outside. And so if I'm in knee pads, if I'm in elbow pads, if there's a fight scene, or it's bitter cold. And so if I have that jacket on, it's puffy, and I can have underlayers on that the audience cannot see, but I can stay warm. Because you take the jacket off, and every line, your lips are shivering. And so a lot of times it just happens that we go from an outside scene into an inside scene. Like when Dad was going to go to hell for us, I think that was right after the car crash. And so we've had those jackets because we were doing a lot of outside scenes in the car crash, the gun, we're shooting at nighttime in Vancouver, and it's cold. And so it's more about logistics of whether we're shooting inside or outside compared with what the scene's about. Yeah.
But I will say, in addition to that, I will say to Diane, who is our costume designer, she will sit down and think about all of those storyline points to a certain outfit, and then will give us, her suggestions. But she never is like, you have to wear this. She's like, you could wear this, but if you want to wear something a little warmer, we have something like this, like this. So a lot of it is, we have an opportunity to kind of mix and match, but there are a lot of things that she does specifically for story points. So.
Yeah. Especially sometimes when we're shooting like in the motel scene, and I want to have a t-shirt on because it's like, listen, we're in the motel, we've been here overnight, like I wouldn't be wearing a coat and a jacket. And she'll say, but the problem is that you get a phone call from Bobby, and you rush out of the room, and the next 4 scenes are outside at night, and you're in a t-shirt, so you can't have that. And a lot of times, the beginning of one episode will start directly at the end of the prior episode, and so we'll wear a whole outfit and for 2 episodes or something like that. And so we're gonna have indoor and outdoor scenes, and if there's a fight scene, we can't have short sleeves on, because a lot of times it'll have a stunt double who wears pads, or us wearing pads, because we're getting to go into a wall. So there are a lot of
It's a lot of logistics to go into that stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
First, it's great to see y'all. I'm from West Virginia, so I say that word too.
Yeah, good to see you.
And one of my favorite elements of the show is the protectiveness that the brothers show each other. So I was wondering that if, as Jared and Jensen, you've had any moments where you felt or displayed a protective attitude toward one another.
One time he tried to eat some of my fries. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's happened all over the place. Yeah, season 1 we got jumped by like 8 guys.
Yeah, that was the one I specifically heard about. So
Yeah.
could you elaborate a little more?
Well, we're still here, so we did good. They didn't see us stand up. They were like, that's that 7th Heaven guy and that short guy. Let's get him. And then we were like, we're from the South, boys. Bring it.
But yeah, I mean, that was
That was a specific.
6.5 years ago. There's absolutely been times when he and I have had to stand up for each other in real life. I mean, we do so much like even like here this weekend, you know, we'll be hanging out this weekend, and you know, there's absolutely been times where it's like, hey, what's going on, you know. We fly home constantly. I remember one time this guy was just got on the plane and he and I were already in our seats and he just was acting like a total jackass. And Jared immediately just like stood up, grabbed his bag, threw it in the overhead compartment, and I was like, oh, I don't really need it. I didn't see this. But I mean, there's a definite sense of I got your back, and there has been since day one. So. Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi. One of the reasons why I love Supernatural so much is because of the variety of types of episodes. My question is, which script surprised you the most when first reading it? Either as, I can't believe I get to or have to do this, or as, I can't believe they came up with this.
Let's start with season 1, episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Basically all the ones in season 2 and 3, and 4.
That's
Bugs.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot that I could, you know, one that comes to mind immediately is changing channels. What's that? Yeah, basically anything by Ben Edlund is what? Berries?
The suicidal teddy bear.
The teddy bear blows his brains out. Well, then we have gotten over the what the hell kind of show is this a long time ago. There's very few things they can throw our way that we're like, that's weird. I mean, especially after the French mistake, it's like, all right, basically.
And Real Ghostbusters for y'all guys.
Real Ghostbusters. So I think it's actually very, it's very exciting for me, and I know Jared as well, to be a part of a show that has an opportunity to go that outside the box. And not only do we go there, but we jump wholeheartedly into it, and we do it a lot. So I think it's great that we have the ability to, as a storyline, to go. I mean, the Western episode. It's like, what's next?
I remember, you know what's funny is that I remember, I know for sure, I think Jensen Panel did as well. The first episode we ever did that kind of touched on angels, which was long before season 4, but it was called Touched or House of the Holy. It got changed like 3 or 4 times, so House of the Holy was the final title. And he and I both read it, we were like, are we making a religious statement now? Because we got into the show to do kind of urban myths and legends and things that go along with the night. And he and I both kind of, it was difficult to kind of wrap our heads around that. Wait, are we now going to be a conduit for the writers to have a religious message of some sort? Like, we both had a difficult time kind of dealing with that. I did especially because I was like, well, what are they going to end up wanting to say? Like, because now I'm saying it. And it was really...
I think that was the first time we actually had a conference call. Like, so
first time we had
sat down, we're like, we just need to talk about the direction of the show because we're a little confused right now. But they listened to us and they were like, no, that's not. This is our own fictional story that is, you know, going to go crazy. It's kooky, and we'll take little pieces of, you know, biblical story and twist it and turn it to. And so we're like, okay, it's obviously like not a.
And then by the time season 4 happened, I think they wrote it during the summer, and they were like, send it to them, they're on vacation, they're not going to care to read it. So now they're like, cast out? What? But that worked out pretty well, so I'm glad the show ended up going there. But if we, like you said about Supernatural, they really delve into all these different arenas, so it's been nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Patty from Dallas.
Well,
My question is for Jensen.
come on. What does he think about my performance?
You're awesome there.
Thank you. Okay, you can carry on.
In The Man Who Would Be King, Dean calls Castiel the Valky Bartocopus of angels. Do you know who Valky Bartocopus
Yes.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's rad.
Yes.
Perpetrators.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Did the reference
Cell.
was the reference like, or were there a lot of people like, wait, back that up? What?
What did he call him?
No, because I remember I read that and I'm like, yeah, I love obscure references like that. Some I get, some I actually have to look up. I'm like, what? And then I look at the front cover and it says Ben Edlund. I'm like,
Thank you.
So yes, yeah. Are you kidding? I'm a show.